哎，感谢富爸爸，让我们有车开，有车开，车子撞坏了还有得修。感谢微软，微软我大哥，微软我大哥，比尔盖茨我爸爸，直接打到1点了。好玩呢，好玩游戏。你是去线上跟人打吗
？Welcome back, rookie.
他不是有排位？昨天有晋级吗？昨天有晋级到什么排位？微软我大哥，比尔盖茨我爸爸。大家都认伊隆马，只有我认比尔盖茨。大不列颠，走。昨天是啊，对，这边。哎，为什么他现在都固定把我传到乐高峡谷？真是，什么都从乐高峡谷开始。哎呀
200 meters, turn left. Recalculating route. In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. You have arrived at your destination.
升级英雄，OK。但是我应该先去把那个计程车跑完。计程车我记得差2个是吧？啊，其实我应该先去跑计程车的。从嘉年华这边过去。从地图上点要钱啊，从主选单这边点就不用钱。可以。今天一样又湿又冷的一天啊！这波寒流没有要减弱的迹象。哎呦，哎，爸爸，我车撞了，爸爸。
Recalculating route. In 100 meters, turn right. Back, are you? Well, I'll have you know, while you've been quite literally spinning your wheels, I've been trying to run an actual passenger service. I'm not sure if... Oh, what am I talking about? Aisha's taxis comes to a standstill without you. Sorry, but can we please get back to basics? Taking people from point A to point B. Very, very quickly. For me?
For you.
Oh, thank you. Right, well, next pickup location is set. Away we go. In 200 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. Park it here, I'll call your passenger.
一大早就跑 Uber， 你看。
I only spoke to the lady for a moment, but she sounds absolutely lovely. Just needs a quick hop over to Edinburgh to visit her sister in the suburbs. Apparently they like to watch motor racing together.
早起跑 Uber。
Oh, you're not one of these drivers from Horizon, are you? I'm from a family of big racing fans myself. My sister and I have been following all the action at the festival. You couldn't put your foot down a bit for me, could you?
哎，可以，但是要加钱。油门踩到底加50块，方向盘打死再加50块。
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right.
啊，好啊，再加50。
400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Not bad, but it looks a lot faster on the telly. Can you speed it up a bit? Come on now, love. I want you to really blow my air back. Can you do that for me?
你整个人丢出去，让你头发不止头发往后吹，哎，整个人都往后吹，好不好？
Roundabout. Take the second exit.
How fast are we going now? This is amazing. Everything looks so blurry right now.
In 200 meters, turn right. At the roundabout, take the second exit.
满意了没啊？哎，下车，不在了，不在了。
Good luck racing at the festival. I'll be cheering for you. Wait till I tell my sister I had a ride in a real race car. She'll say it was only a taxi, but you and I know differently, don't we, love?
不在了，不在了。
Okay, calm down. Where to start? I've been working on a bit of a business diversification that I haven't told you about because I didn't want to worry you.
哎，怎么换一台车
I managed to
了
get my hands on a limousine. Jamin at the festival, such a nice guy. And I thought we could offer high-speed luxury group fares. But I really should have asked first, since you'll have to do all the driving.
哇！ 这么长一台，哎，我是要停在哪里？
Just think, if this works, we could be Aisha's luxury limos.
哎，然后关卡
Got
再
them?
多10
All
关。
right. I've put the next pickup into your sat nav. Quick as you can.
怎样？你要坐后座吗？坐后车厢。
And the bloke looks at the mechanic and says, I'd love to, but that's not my car. What do you reckon?
Don't sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique.
Oh, well, not much point doing the rest of the joke now you've heard the punchline. Just warming up for this gig in Edinburgh. Hope you don't mind.
Let's see who bit the dissect the style. I flip the script so they can't get filed. At least not now, it'll take a while. I change the pace to complete the beat. I drop the bass to MCs get hit. Every way they trace is a scarlet.
See, there's so many people in town for the Horizon Festival, I figure I'd better do some car jokes, but I don't know any. Do you? You're a driver. Nothing, eh? See, this is exactly what I mean. Joking about cars with this Horizon lot is like joking about burgers with a bunch of cows. Nothing, eh? You know, for a cabbie, you certainly don't say much.
Science is trying to solve the context.
以一个计程车司机来讲，话不多。人狠，话不多。不是你在唧唧歪歪就把你塞到后车厢去。
Anyhow, I think we're picking up my mate Charlie next. Maybe he's got something good.
You've made the pickup? Oh, thank goodness. So, what are they like? Are they funny? No, don't tell me. There's no time. I've updated your route to the next pickup point. Better get to it.
这一单是怎样？披头士吗？
You want to know how slow my car is? I'll tell you how slow my car is. It's so slow that... Oh, hey, hiya. You all right, Jess? How you doing? You got your car material ready for gig?
Not really, Charlie. What you got? Sounds like you're working on something.
Yeah, hey, here, listen to this. My car is so slow that when I drive it, it often makes me late for stuff.
That's not very good, Charlie.
Nah, it's not, is it? As slow as... Blimey, this one driving won't be much help. This taxi's quicker than me. Man, I'm bingo night. Here, we're picking up Harry next. Let's see if he's got something.
Don't stop, rock it out, baby, bubba to the boogity bang bang, the boogie to the boogity beat. Now what you hear is not a test, I'm rapping to the beat.
In 400 meters, turn right.
And my friends are gonna try to move your feet. You see, I am Wonder Mike and I like to say hello. Up to the block, to the
Turn
white,
right.
the red and the brown, the purple and yellow. But first I gotta bang bang, the boogie to the boogie, say up jump the boogie to the bang bang boogie, let's rock. You don't stop, rock the rhythm that'll make your body rock. Well, so far you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along.
In 400 meters, turn right.
Come on and sing that song. Check it out. When I'm the dimp, the ladies, the women fight for my delight. But I'm the grand master with the 3 MCs that shake the house for the young ladies. And when you come inside and to the front, you do the... And when the sucker MCs try to prove a point with Trevor's trio, or when the serious joiner from sun to sun and from day to day, I sit down and...
Okay, pickup confirmed, thank heavens. When it comes to waiting, turns out these comedians don't have much of a sense of humor. Next pickup should be on your sat-nav now. Step on it.
这台车后面载了几条人命啊！
Alright, everyone. What you call a driver with no sense of direction?
Hey, take it easy, Harry. We don't want to upset our nice Horizon driver in the front here. Besides, I know the punchline to that one. It's rubbish.
Oh, you do? You could tell me then. I'm still working on the blooming thing. How about you, Jess? What have you got?
A whole lot of nothing. Not a lot of time to come up with anything better. The rate this taxi's going.
Alright, how about this? What do you call a comedian who has to get a job as a taxi driver?
I call that you and me, mate, if we don't come up with something before we get to Edinburgh.
Okay, calm down. We're picking up Poppy next. She's bound to have something.
In 400 meters, turn sharp left. Turn sharp left. In 200 meters, turn right. Turn right. Pickup confirmed. It's working. It's actually working. I can't believe it's actually working. Final passenger is down in Broadway.
还有啊，
Do this. Come on.
这是什么团体？这么多人。
Hi everyone, Jess, Charlie, Harry. Wow, car jokes are hard, right? How about this? Why did the Horizon drive across the road?
Yep, we're doomed.
Steady on, I've got some other stuff I've been working on. How many Horizon drivers does it take to change a light bulb?
Tried that already. The answer's one. Tech down in the auto show named Dave changed both headlights on my car in about 2 seconds flat.
All right, relax everyone. We're gonna pick up Jack before we head to the gig. He's absolutely hilarious. He'll definitely have something.
这些喜剧演员自己都不想梗的，都丢给别人想。
In 400 meters, turn right.
载了一整车的沙泰尔员工。
Turn right.
哎呀，哎呀，没事。
In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Frustration, keep y'all on tuck in rotation. I duck these cold faces, post up, we 5-4 from bases. Dreams of reality's piece, blow steam in the face of the beast.
哎呦，5条人命啊，小心点。
Recalculating route. 100 meters, turn right. Turn left.
Let the paranoia haunt you. Peace to fashion, police, I wear my heart. On my sleeve, let the runway start. You know the man's about to love company. What do you want from me and my scars? Everybody lack confident. Everybody lack confident. How many times my potential was anonymous? How many times the city making me promises? So I promise this. I love myself. The word is again on me. The dick is out. I love myself. But I can do it.
What the?
Final pickup, and then you need to get them all to Edinburgh in time for the show. All jokes aside, we're so close now. Careful with this last passenger. He's the headline act. Not sure why. He didn't seem very funny on the phone.
GG.
Hello, Jess, Charlie, Harry, Poppy. Fancy running into all of you. Wow, this taxi's quite fast, isn't it? Are we all excited for the gig? I know I am.
Jack, you have to help us. We're dying here.
Seriously, Jack, with all these Horizon people in town, if we can't come up with a decent car joke, we're gonna get laughed off the stage.
Yeah, like not in a good way. Come on, Jack, we're all counting on you. What have you got for us? Don't worry, I've got it under control. You ready? When is a car not a car? When it turns into a corner. All right, it's going to be a great show, everyone. Thank you very much, driver.
哇，13公里4分钟哦，哇！这赶得上吗？这个？车上的人怎么都不说话了，很安静的。6档，哦哟！到啦！
Aisha's Taxis is about to go nationwide. We're busier than ever, and I still don't have help in the office, and I'm not stressed. I know we'll get there, and everything will be fine. I believe I have you to thank for this breakthrough. So I won't need you to do so much driving now. I can manage from here.
好了，莫名就失业了。计程车跑着跑着，突然就失业了。
Aisha sounded relieved on the phone, which, if you know Aisha, is pretty major. So, nice job. I'll call you when she gets in touch again.
下一个，看这个什么 green 什么的 ，racing green 能不能接？
100 meters, turn right. In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Something else I've been dying to bring back to the UK horizon. Skill songs. I'll play this, you tear it up, and I'll double your skill scores. Oh, it's good to be home. Right here on Pulse.
Turn right. Turn right.
一样10个章节，开老车。
This is shaping up nicely. Time for a change of pace, though. At least at first. The next segment is about Land Rover, and we'll be starting out with the Type 3. Land Rover, the British sports utility vehicle. But before that, they were actual utility vehicles. Solid, tough trucks, unstoppable over almost any terrain.
In 400 meters, turn left.
The Land Rover Type 3 marks the point where that shift begins, and we'll be looking at what that meant. Land Rovers have taken on almost every task imaginable. They've been generators, tractors and ambulances. They've brought peace and carried medicines to disaster zones. They've even been buses. Over 500,000 Series 3s were built, and over 70% of those are still on the road today. They were extensively exported and built under license abroad. Belgium, South Africa, even Australia and New Zealand. With a robust chassis and signature Land Rover engineering, the Type 3 also marked the first time that buyers could choose interior options, like seat box protectors and cubby boxes. That trend continued, and by 1982, Land Rover were offering the county spec Type 3. Leisure drivers could choose from such luxuries as all-cloth seats, soundproofing and tinted glass. The trend was increasingly clear. and the future of the Land Rover was starting to take shape. If you squinted, you could already see the shape of the first sports utility vehicle, the Range Rover. While the stock Type 3 would never be particularly fast uphill, there is almost no hill that it couldn't climb, or down for that matter, if you've put a proper winch on it. In 1978, a Series 3 was custom built for Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. It only had 1,892 miles on the clock when it was auctioned into private hands. And it was in perfect condition. It would be. After all, she trained as a mechanic in the 1940s and will likely remain the only royal able to strip and rebuild an engine.
Turn left.
哎呦！非常优雅，太优雅了。
Along with the Range Rover, others would follow. Discovery, Defender, and the Freelander. Each a more sophisticated and enjoyable utility vehicle. But none of them were a replacement for the Type 3. They were a different kind of car. The Type 3 was arguably the first sports utility vehicle, an evolution of the design that would lead ultimately to this. The Bowler Nemesis, an off-road racing vehicle that turned into a production SUV, the Nemesis EXR.
Nemesis EXR. 没听过。
It sports a turbocharged 5-litre Land Rover Jaguar engine, crammed into a carbon fibre chassis with integral roll cage. It even has the grille, headlights and rear lights from a Range Rover.
Gung.
This is an all-terrain supercar. That's the only fair description for this. But that's what you get when you build an SUV with Land Rover DNA. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I know I am. It's great to be able to just focus on telling the story while someone else handles the driving for once. Let's get to the next one. This time, it's Lotus.
哦，莲花最一开始长这样哦，看起来超普通的。
Lotus Engineering Limited began as many stories in British engineering do, in an old barn. The first Lotus cars were offered as kits. You built them yourself. From 1962, they began to actually build the cars themselves. The Elan Sprint showed exactly what they intended to do. Built around a steel backbone with a fiberglass chassis, the Sprint weighed in at a meager 687 kilos parked on the curb. On the road, this translated into brilliant agility and fantastic performance. Designer Colin Chapman famously said, "Adding power makes you faster on the straights. Subtracting weight makes you faster everywhere." He knew what he was talking about.
In 100 meters, turn right. In 100 meters, turn left.
Widely hailed as one of the greatest sports cars of the 1960s, the Elan would be closely studied and emulated, inspiring such masterpieces as the Mazda MX-5. The Elan has all the energy, style, and enthusiasm you would expect. Bold, quick, and fun. So much so that they put it in the name. The Elan Sprint was a financial as well as an engineering success for Lotus, validating their approach to design and resulting in a whole family of light, agile roadsters. Which brings us to this, the Lotus Exige. It's heavier than the Elan, admittedly, but it's faster. Much, much faster. Touch the pedal, the Exige responds with instant, relentless acceleration, as you'd expect. With a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 170 before upgrades and tuning, the Exige is uncompromising. And there's no power steering, so you can really feel the road. A genuinely thrilling drive, and one that isn't afraid to demand you take it seriously.
In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Feel the motor heating up the hood. Every day I'm thankful that I'm breathing, eating good. Can't wait till the day that I can get back to the hood. Take a trip back when I could. Don't get me misunderstood. I had to push. All I had to do was push. I tell them don't push my buttons, they just wanna push. So I had to push.
400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
I can hear them speaking, all they talking about is us. Let them do the talking, I don't bother with it much. I might wake up in the morning to a...
And with rumoured launches of 2 new cars in 2020, Lotus to push the benchmark of the experienced sports car well into the next century.
I tell them don't push my buttons, haters wanna push. So I had to push.
Done much rallying? That's a joke. We've all seen what you've been up to. We're doing the next bit on location.
这不是我的
You'll see
车吗？
why when you get there.
哎，对，一上路就遇到三宝。
You will arrive at your destination.
Ford, that most American of cars. But the Ford Escort, oh, that's British. And more than that, the Escort would become for many synonymous with Group B. In the 70s, Ford had embraced that destiny so firmly that they'd begun their own championships to find new drivers. Drivers for cars like the RS 1800. This was a car designed explicitly for rallying, with a powerful fuel-injected 1790cc Cosworth BDE engine. Homologation rules required that all cars entered into the Group B production, so Ford built 200 of them. The RS 1800 raced to victory after victory across the rallying world, on almost every continent and across every terrain type imaginable. This car was basically unbeatable. The RS 1800 brought home 17 World Rally Championship victories for Ford. So, of course, Ford set out to design a better one. The RS 200 Evolution was their answer. A purpose-built rally car designed to do one thing: win Group B. With a 1.8 turbocharged Ford Cosworth BDT engine and all-wheel drive, the RS 200 had perhaps the best suspension platform of any car of its era. The chassis was fiberglass from Reliant, and the massive Ford parts bin was raided to give the car that iconic look. But while the car had potential, turbo lag at low RPM and a poor power-to-weight ratio meant that it never placed better than third. The end of Group B in the mid-80s meant the end of the RS 200 as a rallying car. Fortunately, Ford built over 200 as part of the homologation requirements for Group B, so you can still find them, if you're lucky.
过这台
I really like
不太一样哦。
Not that I'd want to drive it for too long. Squeeze yourself in there and let's see just how fast you can make it go. Which won't be too fast. But hey, I could be surprised.
这很像，看起来很像小兵。
The Peel P50 has the dubious honor of being the smallest production car in the world. A one-door microcar coupe, featuring a 42cc air-cooled engine, capable of a heinous 38 miles an hour. And a handle, so you can pick it up and carry it with you when you get to work. And keep in mind that this is the production version. The prototype had the single wheel at the front. Why would you think that was a good idea? We'll reset and take that section again.
啊，要时速高于。
The Peel P50 has the dubious honor of being the smallest production car in the world. A one-door microcar coupe, featuring a 42cc air-cooled engine, capable of a heinous 38 miles an hour. And a handle, so you can pick it up and carry it with you when you get to work. And keep in mind that this is the production version. The prototype had the single wheel at the front. Why would you think that was a good idea? In 2010, though, production restarted at Sutton in Ashfield. So, if you'd like to own the modern incarnation of this, I suppose you can.
I 我觉得我要买一台。买一台来改。
Hey there! How about a car with some actual legroom and some actual speed? This section's about what happened when McLaren decided to make a road car. You're going to enjoy this. The track and the road have very different requirements. For McLaren, that was a challenge they were more than willing to embrace. In 1988, they set out to create the finest sports car the world has ever seen. By 1993, they had achieved their goal, and the honestly fantastic F1 was the result. 106 would be built across all variants, and it remains one of the very best road cars ever made. The F1 has no turbocharger. That would have compromised the driving experience, increased complexity, and resulted in turbo lag. The F1 is a naturally aspirated supercar, one of the fastest in the world, in fact. Everything about this car is innovative, from the carbon fiber monocoque to the central driver position. McLaren threw the book away when they designed the F1. Then they wrote a better one. The F1's monocoque chassis is incredibly lightweight, only 100 kilos all told, which posed a significant challenge because carbon fiber and fiberglass aren't great insulators. So, McLaren lined the entire engine compartment with gold.
黄金。这车里面装了黄金。
McLaren's racing heritage is so deeply ingrained in this machine that when they took it to Le Mans in 1995 and faced off against purpose-built racing machines, they won. So, with something like the F1 to live up to, where do you go next? Well, you throw the book away again and write an even better one. The result is the McLaren P1, a hybrid electric sports car that stands head and shoulders above the F1.
油电混合的哦。
The P1 GTR will hit 60 miles an hour in 2.4 seconds. That's 0.7 seconds faster than the F1. That's an eternity for a supercar.
这里有路啊。
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
这里有路，怎么不跟我说？
More time in that car, but we really do need to get this shot today. The P1 GTR will hit 60 miles an hour in 2.4 seconds. That's 0.7 seconds faster than the F1. That's an eternity for a supercar. The car's blistering performance is delivered by a twin-turbo V8, supplemented by a McLaren ECU electric motor and instant power assist system. And they do mean instant.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Remember those problems with turbo lag? McLaren solved that with the hybrid drive. While the turbos build pressure, the electric motor drives the wheels. No turbo lag, just torque. And because it's a hybrid, it has an all-electric range. Running on batteries alone, that's 6.2 miles. A bit more if you're going downhill.
没事，帅就完事了。
I quite like sleeper cars. Did Alex ever tell you the story of what we got up to in Colorado? There was this sleeper car competition, you see. Let's just say no one was ready for the Sunbeam.
Sunbeam， 听都没听过。
Lotus never quite let go of the upgrade game. So in addition to building their own supercars, they upgraded cars from other marques too. The Lotus Carlton was one such aftermarket.
这台也是莲花的。
Lotus took a respectable four-door Vauxhall saloon and turned it into a supercar. From the outside, there are a few signs that this is something special. Wider wheel arches, that sort of thing. But under the bonnet, that's where the magic starts. Engine capacity was increased to 3.6 litres, and twin Garrett T25 turbochargers were added. The engine block was reinforced, and new crankshafts were forged by Opel and machined in Germany.
At the roundabout, take the third exit.
The tyres were widened, and the tyre compound from the Lotus Esprit was used. To handle camber change issues, they put in the self-leveling suspension from the Opel Senator.
In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination.
Only 950 of these custom gems were built, and they've become something of a modern classic. The Lotus Carlton was an example of how to turn a saloon into a supercar. But that's not the only thing Lotus got up to.
车灯变多了。
In 1979, Chrysler approached Lotus to create a strict rally version of their Sunbeam three-door hatchback. Lotus, as you might imagine, rather enjoyed the challenge.
哪里来的轻铁啊？
They took the rear-wheel drive hatchback and changed everything that matters. They stiffened the suspension, improved the anti-roll bars, and widened the transmission tunnel. Performance was increased by fitting a 2.2-litre version of the Lotus 911 slant 4-cylinder engine, resulting in an impressive 250 brake horsepower, up from a meager 105 on the original. The Lotus Sunbeam was revealed to the public in 1979 in Geneva to widespread praise in the motoring media.
In 86, with a melody in President's mix, and I stay on target and refuse to miss. And I still make it.
That was not bad, but could we make it a little more majestic? They took the rear-wheel drive hatchback and changed everything that matters. They stiffened the suspension, improved the anti-roll bars, and widened the transmission tunnel.
Don't sweat the technique.
Performance was increased by fitting a 2.2-litre version of the Lotus 911 slant 4-cylinder engine, resulting in an impressive 250 brake horsepower, up from a meager 105 on the original.
I made my debut in 86 with a melody in President's mix, and I stay on target and refuse to miss. And I stay against the beats, the parties, clubs, and the cars and jeeps. My underground sound vibrates the streets. MCs wanna beat, then I play the keys when they sweat the technique. Don't sweat the technique.
It almost makes you wonder if Lotus should do more conversions. It's a silly question, actually. Lotus should do more conversions. In fact, I'll call them right now.
切西瓜切出好成绩。
I speak indiscreet, cause talk is cheap. Then I get deep in the beat, think complete. Full of physique, never weak or obsolete. They never grow old, techniques become antiques. Better than something brand new, cause it's original. In a while, style I have much more value.
I honestly think these might be some of the most beautiful cars in the world. And the story of how it came about is, well, really British. Get in the car and let's get this segment. Jaguar is a bit of a favourite of mine. The company is almost 100 years old and was originally founded to build sidecars for motorcycles. But this is the car that really set the bar, I think. The 1961 E-Type. When he saw it, Enzo Ferrari called it the most beautiful car in the world. High praise indeed. He wasn't alone in his admiration. Accolades have followed this car ever since. It's been in movies, comics, games, and TV shows. Unlike some later cars in the marque, it wasn't just looks though. The E-Type was light and fast. It would do 153 miles an hour and stopped on innovative four-wheel brakes that were better than anything Ferrari or Porsche or even Mercedes-Benz had. It was solid too, with a design based on the D-Type that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans 3 years in a row.
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Anyone who owns an E-Type will tell you that the key to their reliability is to drive them regularly, as if you'd need the excuse. About 2,500 were built, and they're a common sight at auto shows, and surprisingly
还有3支
reasonably
雨
priced.
刷呢。
All in all, an almost perfect Jaguar. The E-Type was the successor to the Le Mans winning D-Type. But what would that look like if Jaguar designed it today? In 2013, Jaguar answered that question with the F-Type Project 7, a spiritual successor to the E-Type, and designed from the ground up to be the purest, most enjoyable Jaguar yet.
Jaguar.
The car's heritage is proudly displayed in the gorgeous D-Type curves and the distinctive aero hunch behind the driving position. But like the E-Type, it's not just a pretty face. Powered by a 5-litre V8 supercharged engine, with a fully aluminium body, it's blisteringly fast, with a 0 to 60 speed of 3.8 seconds and a top speed of 186 miles an hour. A car as beautiful as this must surely have been a carefully authored design. Actually, it started as a sketch by designer Cesar Pieri, thrown together one Friday in his free time. Jaguar's design director, Ian Callum, saw the sketch in a photo on Cesar's computer during a meeting and asked him what it was. The rest is history. "250 Project 7s were built, as both a successor to the E-Type and as a celebration of Jaguar's victories at Le Mans. I think I speak for all of us when I say, thank heavens for Cesar's Friday afternoon doodle. We're almost done, but we've saved the good stuff for last. A spot of rallying in the most British car of them all. Get in, strap in, and let's nail this one. There is one car built in Great Britain that is, quite fairly, considered one of the most influential cars of the century. It's a surprisingly spacious little city car, with a side-mounted engine. It's an icon of popular culture. It's been built on every continent where there's a car factory. It's the Mini. The Mini Cooper S was built to be a performance machine, with deeper engines, twin carburetors, and front disc brakes. This scrappy little machine would go on to achieve more than 30 racing victories in the 1960s and 1970s. A Mini Cooper S flying number 37 placed first at the 1964 Monte Carlo Rally. Driven by Paddy Hopkirk and Henry Liddon, this was the last time an all-British crew would win the event. But
Mini
not the
Cooper
last
这么厉害。
time a Mini would. At Monte Carlo in 1966, Minis took the first, second and third positions. They were all disqualified because they had dimming headlamps. Not because they were winning everything in sight. In 1999, the Car of the Century Award was presented to the most influential car of the 20th century. The Mini came second. It was beaten by the Model T Ford. That's fair, I suppose. 5.3 million Minis would be sold, making it the most popular British car. And then in 2000, BMW resumed production of the Mini, breathing new life into the iconic mark. If the Mini of the 1960s had its sights set on the roads of Monte Carlo, the X-rayed Countryman has its eyes on something a little tougher.
懂了，有那么 mini 的 mini。
The deserts and rough terrain of the Dakar for starters. A wit once said that the only thing mini in this monster was the pedal. That's rather than missing the point, I think. The X-rayed Countryman is much, much bigger than the Mini Cooper. It has to be. A stage of the Dakar demands literally tons of gear. You could call it a tank. It does rather sound like one.
Oi.
When Mini's X-rayed division set out to build this thing, they had one goal in mind: winning the Dakar. And they did, every year, from 2012 to 2015.
In 400 meters, turn right.
It's designed to be driven for 2 weeks over deserts and badlands, 5 kilometers above sea level. And it still handles like a hot hatch on a nice bit of dry ice. Owners come and go. The heritage of a car like the Mini is more than who owns the keys to the shop. I fully expect to see Mini's wings flying for another century. This is quite the story. Bentley at Le Mans in the 1930s. Gentleman racers, heroic driving, and a personal hero of mine. Take good care of the cars, though. Both of them are mine. Bentley, a company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps the best example I know of those two extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions. The car was the Continental GT, an elegant grand tourer that combined a racetrack pedigree with exquisite style and all the power you could need. The move to mass production has done nothing to blunt the Bentley experience. The 2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed. It brings together all-wheel drive, carbon fiber bonnet sides and side skirts to create the most powerful, performance-focused car the company has ever built.
没事，一切都在控制之中。
And then in 2011, they broke their own record. 205 miles an hour, both ways, on ice. Even when building these gorgeous Grand Tourers, Bentley is driven to excellence. Are you all right? Take a moment, then let's do that bit again.
Hey.
Bentley, a company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps the best example I know of those two extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions. The car was the Continental GT, an elegant grand tourer that combined a racetrack pedigree with exquisite style and all the power you could need. The move to mass production has done nothing to blunt the Bentley experience. The 2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed. You're right, not to worry, reset and let's try another take. Bentley, a company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps the best example I know of those two extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions. The car was the Continental GT, an elegant grand tourer that combined a racetrack pedigree with exquisite style and all the power you could need. The move to mass production has done nothing to blunt the Bentley experience. The 2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed.
这里应该是有一条路的。小心开，慢慢开。安全驾驶。
That was spectacular. Take a breather and let's try again with less excitement.
什么东西
Bentley, a company founded in 1919 in Cricklewood, North London, and purchased by Rolls-Royce in the 30s. A company synonymous with both racing and luxury. Perhaps the best example I know of those two extremes of British engineering. For almost a century, every Bentley was hand-built to exacting standards. So at the beginning of the 21st century, when Bentley revealed their first mass-produced car, there were a great many questions. The car was the Continental GT, an elegant grand tourer that combined a racetrack pedigree with exquisite style and all the power you could need. The move to mass production has done nothing to blunt the Bentley experience. The 2017 Continental Supersport is responsive, fast, and beautifully designed. Bentley means modern, peerless luxury and elegance. But that's far from the full story.
总算啊。
A century ago, Bentley meant something else entirely. It meant Le Mans. In 1930, eccentric race team owner Dorothy Paget financed a rather special Bentley at the Le Mans. It was a 4.5-litre supercharged masterpiece, driven by Sir Henry Bentley Boy Birkin. It posted the fastest time on the day, but it failed to finish.
Oh.
But what a race it was. Sir Henry's courageous driving forced Rudolf Caracciola's 7-litre Mercedes out of the race at the cost of his own victory. But in doing so, he handed the day to the Bentley Sixes. A gentleman racer indeed. Sir Henry knew he didn't have anything to prove. In 1929, the adventurer Mrs. Mary Victor Bruce had already driven the resolutely modern 4.5-litre Bentley at Montlhéry, setting distance, speed and endurance records. The Bentley's performance so annoyed Ettore Bugatti that he called it the world's fastest lorry. The blower had the last laugh, though. In 2012, it was sold at auction for over £4 million, which is more than enough to buy a Veyron and a racing truck, if you're keeping score.
Like I told them, can't make a film about car culture around here without you in it, can they? I'll let you know if they need you back.
甩尾俱乐部跟这个升级英雄，来甩尾吧。
Turn around when it is safe to do so. Turn around when it is safe to do so. Recalculating route. In 400 meters, turn right.
哎呀，我的后照镜啊！安安，哦嗨哟，普吉安安。
In 100 meters, turn right. Turn around when it is safe to do so.
这里明明有一条路，如果小姐不跟我说，还在长路。哎，这条路很好开。
The festival.
Only on the horizon.
Shit.
This is Chris Goss, and we're back on Hospital Records. Now, have you ever thought seriously about insurance?
Chris, you know me better than that. That's all I ever think about.
So I met this bloke at the event. He's called Hans Liebold, and he was telling me all this amazing stuff about car insurance. Like you're covered for bumps and scratches, but what if your car ends up on the roof of the church?
Is that something that's likely to happen?
Well, it happens all the time. So check him out if you can, Horizon. It's quite a laugh.
现在要去甩尾俱乐部了，接下来应该都是甩尾的。 甩尾环节。
400 meters, turn left. Turn left. You have arrived at your destination.
甩尾环节总共10个章节，来吧。
We've had a drift club meeting and decided to keep score of how our members do on all these routes. Make it a bit of a game, you see. This is the Subaru BRZ for boxer engine, rear wheel drive, and the zenith of drifting technology. I'm also quite partial to acronyms. Why don't you take a nice morning drive? And if you want to throw the back end out along the way, that'd be alright with me.
哇，这个地板好滑呀！地板超滑。
400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Gung.
That's what I like to see. Now, I would like to see more, please. Nicely done. Now, we'll keep your score on the Drift Club ladder for eager new drivers to try and beat. I'd prefer they didn't, but you know how they get. This computer games have made them competitive, I think.
Money, money, money. Money, money, money. Money, money.
Good news. Drift Club membership is climbing steadily thanks to you. As soon as I get the membership cards and name badges ready, you'll be the first to know. I'd like us to be known as an inclusive club. You don't need a Japanese performance machine to throw around. An American performance machine will do very nicely too. This route is quite lengthy, so you'll need a good bit of forward as well as sideways.
In 400 meters, turn sharp right. Turn sharp right.
Force equals mass times acceleration minus friction. Drifting is all mathematics, you see. I do like mathematics. Though, You might say it's as easy as braking on the way into the turn to make the back lively. This shifts weight onto the front of the car, increasing grip and reducing weight on the rear wheels. Well, now the rubber's warm, let's keep going, shall we?
In 400 meters, turn sharp left. Turn sharp left. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left. In 200 meters, turn sharp right. Turn sharp right. In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Outstanding! Now let's really shred those tires. You make it look really easy. Liven up the rear, apply a bit of acceleration, then steer. And Robert is your father's brother. There's a nice spot on the way up to Edinburgh the Drift Club's been eyeing up. I think you've earned the right to have first crack and show off a little, what you reckon? I've thrown on new high grip front tyres, tuned the throttle response in the computer and lowered it on firm springs. Well, if you get a show off, and so do I. I've put in a route down to the old rail yard. I think you'll see what I'm getting at. And up here, just a cheeky little detour down the side. Well, off you go, eh? No rush, do Drift Club proud. Very good technically, but now let's see some passion. Come on. Really chuffed Joel persuaded you to front up our little band. I think it's just the thing we needed. If we really want to be taken seriously, we need a bit of a personality to lead the way. A nice one. Anyway, no more said about that. Onwards and upwards, eh? We'll take a longer drift drive this time. Show drift clubbers the skills and technical challenges involved in covering that sort of distance. 98 Sylvia K, 2.6 litre, inline 6, and the full Rocket Bunny boss kit. I might have got a little carried away here, but I was sure you wouldn't mind. Remember when I talked about too much power? This is too much power. You really shouldn't need the flooring. Watch the rear. It's slippy. If it comes out, you're using too much power.
油门踩到底，油门就是要用来踩到底的，不然要油门干嘛？
Turn right.
Sweet.
In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left.
Friction is what everyone wants to see. Not actual friction, of course, because that's an invisible force. There's no way to see an invisible force. What you can see, however, is clouds of smoke from tyres starting to burn at 121.11 degrees Celsius or 250 degrees Fahrenheit for those who prefer imperial measurements, of course.
Meters, turn right. Turn right. In 400 meters, turn left.
Not bad. But do I need to explain again about power to weight ratios? What did you make of that? If we get them used to long drives, we can have drift clubbers laying down rubber in every corner of the UK.
今天应该可以把甩尾俱乐部跑完。
Ever tried drifting uphill? It's quite a skill. I'll admit I'm useless at it, but you're going to show Drift Club it can be done. And I've found just the spot for it. And just the car. Borrowed this from J-Min at the festival. Nice young fella, if a little excitable. Practically flung the keys at me when I said I'd be handing it over to you. Here we go. A nice technical drive on mixed road surfaces. I do love the technical ones. Balance is key. Steer and counter steer. Enough throttle to push the power slide, enough brake to hold your grip. You know, I really should be writing these bits of wisdom down somewhere.
哎，要那是什么？10万是吧？噔。
On the uphill, you're fighting traction loss, burning power, and still relying on momentum to carry you through. Though I'm sure you're taking all this into account already.
菊菊，你挡到爸爸开车了，菊菊，危险！不要把小孩放在方向盘上。
I suspect that machine is capable of more, and so are you. Now, some people claim that you have to use rear-wheel drive cars to drift. That is simply not true. Some of the greatest proponents of functional oversteering, or drifting if you prefer, come from stage rally. And some of them predate Mr. Takahashi. Some also claim that Japanese or American cars are the only options for functional oversteer. This is also not true. Here at Drift Club, we find drift machines in all sorts of odd places. Sweden, for instance. This is the Volvo 242 Turbo Evolution, featuring a few little adjustments of my own. I think you'll find it more than adequate. Course is Lido, though you're welcome to have a little fun on the way.
我的不是走这一条啊，这次要拿110万。 啊，才5万，赶快补一点分数。
That's what I like to see. Now, I would like to see more, please. You see, this is just my point. People think drifting is simply losing control of the vehicle, when in fact, you are delicately balancing traction loss with grip. It's a carefully controlled loss of control, is what I'm saying.
Eh?哎呀，还剩几个章节？剩3个啊！把它跑完好。好了，明天再来吧。该去工作了。去工作了。祝各位有个美好的一天。不。